Today on Monkey Life, it looks like there's a love match in the pipeline for Saki monkey Desmond, who recently lost his partner.
She's going to be younger, she's going to be more agile, probably going to encourage Desmond to live a bit more of an active life.
A new house and enclosure near completion, as final preparations are made to rescue the park's first ever troop of hamadryas baboons.
The outside enclosures look fantastic. We just need the tunnels connecting the two outside areas and all of the bedrooms, so we're pretty close.
And rough and tumble for Woolly brothers Levi and Leroy. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
So far, so good. Nice job. Really nice job.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. For the last few months, the park's only Saki monkey, Desmond, has been coming to terms with losing Chloe, his life partner and the oldest Saki in Europe, who sadly passed away of old age. He has common marmoset Loki for company, but although they are comfortable with each other, it's not the same as companionship of his own kind. As a result, the team have been searching far and wide to find Desmond a suitable female friend, and finally, it seems their patience and determination has paid off.
This new female is called Neevah. She's a young female. She's coming from Combe Martin Wildlife Park down in Devon. And she's just getting a little bit older in her family group, sexually mature. And naturally in the wild, she would move off and start having her own family. She'd meet a partner. So instead, she's coming to Monkey World and she's going to meet Des.
At just 6 years old, Neevah is 10 years younger than Desmond. She's never experienced anything other than life in her family group, which includes both parents and siblings. The move will be a big but necessary change for her. Hopefully Desmond will fit the bill as a new life partner. To make Neevah's transition as smooth as possible, one of the park's primate care team will be spending time with her at Combe Martin.
Yeah, so we've got one of our primate care staff, Sharon, going to visit Neevah early, just before she arrives at the park, just so when Neevah comes, she's got a familiar face and she doesn't feel so like this is a brand new world and it's scary. So she's going to spend some time with Neevah, getting to know her, and vice versa, because obviously they also have to get to know us. And then when she arrives here at the park, she'll already know Sharon.
Desmond and his prospective mate won't meet straight away. As with most introductions, they'll spend a day in adjacent bedrooms, getting used to the sight, sound and smell of each other. The primate care staff can't wait.
The team are really excited. We obviously have had Chloe, who's a female Saki monkey, but this Neevah, she's going to be younger, she's going to be more agile, probably going to encourage Desmond to live a bit more of an active life than Chloe did, because Chloe was old and a bit inactive. So we're really excited to see what changes we can make for the both of them.
Combe Martin Wildlife Centre, Neevah's current home, houses more than 20 different species. But there's one in particular the Monkey World team want to take a closer look at when they visit to collect her. It's the centre's small group of hamadryas baboons. An old world primate Alison and the team are soon going to learn a lot about. Alison's been aware of these baboons for some time, but until now was unable to offer them a home. It's a species never previously rescued by Monkey World.
They've not had any particular health issues or problems at all.
That's a Rambo with his teeth. Other than that, nothing.
The 3 males and 3 females are currently being looked after by Animals Lebanon, a charity based in Beirut, which campaigns to improve animal welfare and legislation there. It's run by Jason Meyer and his partner Maggie. All 6 baboons originally came from a small zoo in Lebanon and have been looked after by the organisation in the hills above the city since 2017. They've been on Alison's radar ever since, but there's never been space available at the park until now. The team in Dorset have erected a purpose-built facility for the baboons at the far end of the park. The building and maintenance teams have worked wonders in just a few months. And the new baboon house is nearing completion, along with 2 large outdoor enclosures. It should all be ready and waiting for the baboons to enjoy when they arrive.
Yeah, we're making leaps and bounds forward with the baboons. In fact, I'm sort of reaching out to Jason in Beirut now to just sort of see where he is. I've done the initial round of paperwork with the Lebanese authorities, so that is being worked on right now. In terms of our house at the park, it's the sort of outer shell is definitely up. The inside mesh is almost complete. The outside enclosures look fantastic. We just need the tunnels connecting the 2 outside areas and all of the internal network of tunnels connecting up the bedroom. So it's quite a nice big house. We're pretty close.
It's a big ask trying to move these animals with everything going on in the Middle East, and by no means a done deal. Alison has regular video catch-ups with the team in Lebanon to progress the situation.
Jason.
Hey, Jason.
So we separated this one and that one.
Yeah.
Today is an important step towards moving the baboons to Monkey World. All 6 are having a health check to confirm they're not carrying any diseases that can be transmitted to other primates.
It's a big day for us today. Today, actually, we're doing testing for 6 baboons that we rescued almost 6 years ago from a very bad zoo. We've been caring for them for the last 6 years, and we got the great news that one of the best primate sanctuaries or facilities in the world, Monkey World, at least to me, it's one of the best places, accepted to take them, provided we do all the tests that are required for them to enter the UK and test all the diseases. So today we're basically testing them for parasites, viruses, and bacteria to ensure that they're set to go.
The checks and tests are vital to determine the health of the 6 baboons, and will also give valuable information about their ongoing needs. The baboons need to be darted with an anaesthetic by the vet. The majority of the larger primates in Dorset have been trained to accept an injection by hand. But the remote location means the team in Lebanon have not been able to do this. Very little is known about the baboons' earlier lives. First up are the 3 females.
We don't know their ages. They haven't changed since we got them. I mean, they're the same size, the same character. They're drama queens, and we love them.
Once the females have been inspected, it's time to move on to the larger males. The youngest is around 7 years old, and he's thought to be the son of Rambo, who's estimated to be about 25. He's the oldest of the group, and their leader. It's a long day in quite difficult conditions, but eventually, all 6 baboons have been examined.
All the medical checkups today went smoothly. They all seemed very healthy. Their teeth were clean. The vet checked everything. I mean, we scanned them for the microchips. Their vitals were okay. They all seemed very healthy. We just now have to await the test results.
If the tests come back all clear, and the relevant authorities give the green light, it's only a matter of time before the park in Dorset welcomes Rambo and his family. The majority of the park's primates are given fresh browse as an important part of their diet and lives. It's full of fibre and a natural way to maintain the animal's gut and dental health, as well as keeping them engaged. Today, the family of 4 Guenons are getting their share. Necessary pruning around the park means there's a surplus of apple, pear, willow and hawthorn browse, with blossom and catkins attached. It's something a little unusual for this small family.
So obviously the browse is visually attractive, it's different to all the plants that they've already got in their enclosure, and it's going to offer a lot of different smells, especially with the blossom. It's going to let off a really nice sweet smell, so hopefully give them a little bit of stimulation, both physically and smell-wise.
The Guenons love to eat new buds and leaves. The team hope the blossom will be an attractive alternative to the new growth on the trees and shrubs in their enclosure, which they love to feed on, sometimes a bit too much. The primate care staff open up the slides. The Guenon family are quick to react, rushing straight out into the enclosure. These little monkeys are incredibly quick and nimble. They're able to negotiate tiny branches with ease as they move around in search of food. Once they've had a good look at the browse, they settle down and start to eat. At nearly 4 years of age, female Nala is the youngest and most energetic of the troop. The fresh green leaves capture her attention and she tucks in. Nala's confidence is remarkable and she has a wonderful relationship with Dad Benny. Her 5-year-old sister Biff is also self-assured and today has discovered a liking for the blossom. Both girls will soon reach sexual maturity, becoming young adults. They're already less energetic and boisterous than their early days. It's a sign they're growing up and maturing. Which is good news for Mum Nia, who took a back seat when her daughters were young and running riot around the enclosure. She's now a lot more involved and has become closer again to partner Benny.
Obviously, when they had young children, they had a lot of other things to think about other than themselves as a relationship. Now they're a lot more closer now the kids have grown up. So we see a lot of head wobbles, nice little hellos. So it's really lovely. They're a little family unit again. They spend a lot of time together, all really positive.
The browse and blossom are proving a hit. Everything is edible, with plenty of health benefits. And even if they don't eat it all, some of the bigger branching will provide additional structures for the troop to climb on. It all adds to the variety of life for the Guenons. The primate care staff enjoy finding different ways to motivate the animals in their charge and encourage natural behaviours. Donations sometimes contribute to the variety of foods they can offer them. And today, a local gardener has kindly supplied a load of medlar fruit. It's a bit chilly outside, so the woolly monkey team are scattering them around Levar's indoor playroom.
It's quite a rare fruit, very seasonal. We don't get it very often, so it's a nice treat for these guys. We've got some going up in hanging baskets, which hopefully is going to encourage foraging through the straw, but also some lovely suspension feeding. And then we're going to mix some around as well for them. Yeah.
When it comes to something new, woolly monkeys can be cautious, but fruit is one of their favourite things.
So woolly monkeys absolutely love sweet things. Anything sweet is amazing, nothing beats a sweet thing. Might take them a little while, but these guys are very food motivated and they generally know that when we let them back into the playroom, they're going to get something delicious. So hopefully they'll come straight for them.
The group are eager to get started.
Get on, guys! Well, we're all ready. There we go.
There's lots of excited trills as they all rush in. They head straight for the suspended feeders. Picky Pichua rummages through the straw, discarding one fruit for another more ripe choice.
It's a delicious cheer! So this is what we call a trill. So it's a noise that they make just when they're really excited. It's essentially them being like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it kind of sets everyone else off. They can't keep anything a secret from each other because they do just let everyone know.
There's plenty for everyone. With all the excitement and activity, little Benita stays close to Mum Olivia. While some of the larger woolies, like Zingu, rifle through the feeders. Some of the medlar fruit fall to the floor. Easy pickings for young adult Cosmo, who looks momentarily overwhelmed by the amount of fruit available. But then demonstrates dominance and bad manners by snatching one out of Olivia's hands. Leroy shows off, demonstrating just how agile woolly monkeys are, hanging from his long prehensile tail while collecting the fruit and grazing contentedly. Olivia and Pichua use the same technique. Woolly monkey tails are incredibly strong and act as a fifth limb. The park's woolies use them for suspensory feeding, just like their wild counterparts. The younger and smaller woolies have an advantage. Their smaller hands and arms fit through the holes in the baskets more easily than the big boys. Working out how to extract the fruit once you've got hold of it proves a challenge for Benita. But her determination and agility brings success. The oldest woolly monkey at the park, and one of the oldest in captivity in Europe, is Levar. At 33 years old, he's still very much in charge of the group, but age is catching up with him.
I think he is starting to step back a little bit when it comes to this sort of thing, just because everyone else gets so excited and the other big boys are in there. He doesn't want any of them to have any cause to get overexcited and sort of redirect and cause a problem. So he tries to sort of stay out of the way a little bit. He will do some displays to let everyone know that he is still the boss. And luckily in this group, they do all respect him a lot, so they're absolutely fine with him doing that. And yeah, he'll run in, grab what he wants, and then run back out.
The medlar fruit are laden with small seeds and full of fibre and vitamins, a great health benefit for the whole group. The primate care staff are pleased all the woolies have tucked in. Then, with breakfast over and plenty of energy left, the two youngest boys in the troop, brothers Leroy and Levi, enjoy a rough and tumble play session. At the Gibbon support building, renovation work has been continuing apace on the indoor areas. The structure and enclosures normally house two pairs of gibbons, Golden Cheeks, Peanut and Pung Yo, and Siamangs, Sam and Sasak. The maintenance team started the project on Sam and Sasak's side of the house, with the pair moving temporarily to the main Gibbon complex. That left Peanut and Pung Yo on their side, where they've been able to observe all the goings-on, and plenty has changed. The windows of the Siamang's playroom have been replaced, which wasn't an easy job. The poles are gone, replaced with more natural trees and branches, which would be more challenging and interesting for the gibbons.
Would it put too much pressure on that, your end?
The angle.
With the Siamang half of the house complete, the team moved on to next door, Peanut and Pung Yo's quarters.
To save a load of stress, especially for Peanut and Pung Yo, we moved them across to the Siamang side of the house so that work could then be done on their original playroom, get some new branching up, some new flooring, new hosing, everything, just to fix everything up, make it a bit more natural. Yeah, and now the plan is to move them back across and give them run of the whole house.
The primate care staff have just finished the final touches, and Peanut and Pung Yo are about to return to their original space.
Good girl. Not there quite yet, hang on.
Ali opens up the slides. The two golden-cheeked gibbons will need to move from the Siamang playroom, through a bedroom, and then into their own brand new playhouse. The pair seize the opportunity, heading straight into the playroom. There's lots of excited, happy sounds from both Gibbons as they start to explore.
I haven't heard Peanut make noises like that before. She was really excited. Pungyo as well, he was squealing at the same level as Peanut, which was just really cool to see. It's like a behaviour we've never really seen before from him. So, yeah, it was really nice.
Work is continuing on their outdoor enclosure, so the natural trees and branching inside are a good temporary substitute. And the room is large enough for the pair to brachiate as they move around. They've had to spend time together in a smaller space in recent weeks, and it seems to have brought the pair closer than ever.
I would say they've rediscovered each other. We're seeing some behaviours that normally we don't have the privilege of seeing, or they just don't like us to know that they get on really well. So we have caught them playing, we have caught them wrestling and like squealing and having a good time with each other. Obviously, as soon as we turn up, they stop. But yeah, we know that that's going on, and it's really nice to see that they're actually enjoying each other's company. Yeah, and it's all going very well.
The next step for the primate care staff is to return the two Siamangs to their home. But for now, Peanut and Pungyo are making the most of all the extra space.
You know, when it all comes to fruition and they move into the room, and then you can just leave them to it, and you know, that's their home now. It's a really nice feeling. I'm chuffed. It's always cool when stuff like this goes well.
Next time on Monkey Life, Alison's in Devon to collect Neevah, a possible love match for the park's solitary male Saki monkey, who's lost his longtime partner.
I suspect that there'll be a lot of flirting from the minute she walks into the house.
And, despite the offer of treats, Bengal slow loris Bobbi opts for a duvet day. Today on Monkey Life, Alison's in Devon to collect Neevah, a possible love match for the park's solitary male Saki monkey who's lost his longtime partner.
I suspect that there'll be a lot of flirting from the minute she walks into the house.
There's an overnight surprise for staff at the Woolly Monkey House.
We had an unexpected arrival. We've named him Lloyd, so we've got a little boy, and Mum is Ingu.
And, despite the offer of treats, Bengal slow loris Bobbi opts for a duvet day. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Anything could happen. You really, really, really have to have an open mind.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. Alison's arrived at Combe Martin Wildlife Park in North Devon, just a few miles from the coast. After a search lasting months, she's come to collect a female Saki monkey, in the hope she'll become a partner for Desmond, the park's male.
They've got a young female that was born here called Neevah, and she's living with her family still. I think there might be 5 of them in the group. And Mom has just given birth about 6 weeks ago, so she's had the chance to see her mum looking after what's her younger sibling, and it's time for her to graduate and come meet Desmond, so hopefully they'll get on.
Alison is meeting up with the wildlife park's head keeper, Louisa.
Hi, I'm Alison. Pleasure. You could work at Monkey World. Everybody wears shorts year round. Yeah.
Are you guys wanting to head down and see Neevah?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Set in 28 acres, Combe Martin Wildlife Park is home to a variety of animals and birds, including a number of primates. Their family of 5 Saki monkeys is well established and includes a new baby girl just a few months old. Big sister Neevah is 6 and soon to reach sexual maturity. Now is the ideal time for her to move on and meet a male partner, as she would in the wild. Hopefully, she'll take a liking to Desmond.
Hi, you guys. Neevah.
Some of the group are in their outside enclosure.
Hello, mister. Wow.
And they seem to be enjoying themselves.
Oh, you? I know.
So Neevah's a lovely individual. She's a really sweet-hearted Saki monkey. She's kind. She has got a bouncy, energetic side to her, though. But although she still plays a lot with her family, we've started to notice that she's spending a lot more time separate from them. I think she's just pushing the boundaries a bit more, and she's getting to that age that she would naturally be pushed out from her family group. So she has still got a great bond with them, but we're looking forward to... Well, I'm going to miss her, but we're looking forward to her heading off and obviously having a boyfriend, obviously with you guys down at Monkey World, so.
Alison is delighted to see Neevah in her home environment.
What a fabulous time she's been having with her father and her brother bouncing around the enclosure. I think enclosure-wise we'll be able to match that, and hopefully her adult hormones and maturing will mean that she's attracted to Desmond. I suspect that there'll be a lot of flirting from the minute she walks into the house. I think he'll start purring away at her.
While the Combe Martin team prepare Neevah's travel crate, Alison takes time out for another mission. She's keen to take a look at one particular primate species housed at the park, which has never been rescued by Monkey World: hamadryas baboons. Combe Martin has a bachelor group of 3 males who've lived at the centre for nearly 10 years. They were rescued by a Spanish organisation from appalling conditions in Europe.
Wow, look at Omar.
He's stunning, isn't he?
What a bottom. Woo.
Alison has good reason to take a close look at the baboons. Monkey World is planning to rehome 6 of their own very soon. The 3 males and 3 females are currently being looked after by an animal charity in Lebanon.
It would just be silly not to sort of check in with people who have been managing them for years. You always learn something just hearing about their characters, their interaction, how they deal with each other. And the baboons are very different. Yeah, new species for the park. Very basic, as Jeremy would call roughy-tufty monkeys. They're terrestrial, so ground-dwelling, and very expressive in their faces, their vocabulary, how they communicate with each other. Yeah, so all a voyage of discovery for us, and I suppose one of the first steps is here in Combe Martin, seeing how they're getting on with their baboons.
Alison wants to view the baboons' living quarters.
3 bedrooms. We've added in a lot of ramps, but that's more just due to the fact as our boys have got older, they've struggled with some of the higher platforms.
Back in Dorset, work on the new baboon house at Monkey World is nearing completion, so any advice from Louisa is welcome.
Our boys don't like the rain. They will basically pull a face every time it rains. They'll bare their teeth, stick their tongue out, and they just go... if it's sunny, they're fine, but depending on the weather, they're very fair-weathered.
It could be some time before the 6 baboons from Lebanon make their way to Dorset. But now it's back to business, and one smaller female monkey is definitely moving there today. But first, Louisa has to entice Saki Neevah into her travel box.
Hi. Good girl.
Fingers crossed that the training has done the trick. It's just so much nicer for an animal to walk willingly into a box rather than to have to chase them or actually grab hold of them and put them in, so.
Time to find out. Job well done. Neevah walks straight in and is soon safe and secure in the box.
Good girl. Do you miss her? Yeah, gonna miss her a load. She's a sweet pea, but doesn't mean we won't go to see her down at Monkey World.
Ooh, she's a bit of a chunk. What was her weight?
1.88.
Yeah, the mesh bit forward so I can see her.
Time for a few goodbyes before setting off.
I think we're all good. We've done papers, we've done everything
Yeah, you've got
else.
diets and obviously the pellet and that side of things. So yeah, I think it was everything.
Thank you.
It's so lovely to meet you.
No, you too. Honestly,
hopefully
anytime.
she settles in really well.
Yeah.
It's a 2.5-hour journey back to the park in Dorset, where a new life and a new male partner are waiting for Neevah. The majority of the primates at the park have been rescued, often from appalling conditions. Some, like the youngsters at the orangutan nursery, have been orphaned or rejected by their mothers and come to grow up amongst others of their own kind. Monkey World is primarily a rescue and rehabilitation centre, aiming to provide a home for animals in desperate need. With space at a premium, the park has a general policy of not breeding primates. However, one species has had such a dramatic decline in captivity over recent decades that the park does everything possible to support it: the woolly monkey, which is also endangered in the wild. Over the last 20 years, there have been 34 woolly births at Monkey World, but now the number has increased.
We had an unexpected arrival. We've named him Lloyd, so we've got a little boy, and mum is Zingu.
Zingu is a very experienced mum. This is her 6th infant and follows just 2 years after she gave birth to son Levi. The staff had her put on contraception to give her body a break, but the medication failed.
Little Levi's only just turned 2. He seems quite surprised by mum's new sort of addition, but he's actually dealt with it in a very mature manner. He's got his big brother Leroy, who's been in this position before, and yeah, it's quite nice to see those two kind of bonded over this experience. And Zingu lets them come and say hello, and doesn't serve. She's not too harsh in pushing them all away, so they're all able to come and just check out little brother and see what the situation is.
The team are almost certain Levar is the father. It's a familial group, including Zingu's eldest daughter Olivia and granddaughter Benita, and Leroy, another of Zingu's sons, who's now 4 years old.
We're so successful with our woolly monkeys because we have such successful family groups, and having a more natural kind of family dynamic that most of the primates here at the park haven't had, unfortunately. They're learning about how to interact with females and other youngsters within the group. So there's this group of 10. We've just got the perfect dynamic, really. Mature individuals that are hopefully teaching those youngsters some really important life skills.
Keeping more than 260 animals healthy and happy requires a huge amount of time, money, knowledge, and understanding, and a whole lot of food. Every year, the primates get through nearly 140,000 kilos of fruit and veg, not to mention the live insects and all the vitamins and supplements needed for their care. The wild counterparts of the park's larger primates consume greater amounts of fibre in their natural habitats. To make up for this shortfall, the primate care staff provide as much browse and greenery as possible, much of it harvested from around the park or donated by local farmers. And one group are already eyeing up today's offering.
I've got some apple browse to give to Tuan's orangutans today. It's really important to give them things like this, particularly in the winter months, because browsing for leaves and sort of vegetation is really important for orangutans' diet and sort of physical well-being. So some nice sort of apple branching is actually quite a nice treat for them.
Rachel has to be cautious about the size of the browse. Orangutans are clever at adapting things to use as tools and can be very destructive if given the chance.
Some of the orangutans will actually eat this, not all of them. Some of them will use it as building materials. So I'm predicting that Arme is going to use this as a little bit of an embellishment for her latest den project. I think Twan will probably just eat it all in one go.
With the group already outside, Rachel throws the browse into the enclosure from one of the high feeding platforms. And straight away, the orangutans get to work. Twan immediately strips the bark off the browse and, as predicted, eats it. The layer underneath the bark contains sugar and water, something wild orangutans rely on when higher value foods aren't available. The big male does love his food, but devouring this lot will take time. Lucky also strips the bark off a branch, but she seems more interested in Twan's technique. He's quite happy to have her nearby, but sharing his browse is a step too far. Since young Hujan left to join the nursery, there are now just 5 members in the group. But today, only 4 of them are outside enjoying the apple browse. That's because the uneasy truce between Roro and Lucky is over, and the two have fallen out once more.
We have had to temporarily split the group at Twan's house. Tensions between Lucky and Roro were getting higher and higher, and unfortunately Lucky wasn't really allowing Roro to join in with any group activities, including having her dinner and her lunch. So at the moment the 2 girls are alternating their days out, and we've gone back to a sort of less than ideal situation while we try and work out the next step.
While Lucky stakes her claim close to Twan, Awan heads off to find her own browse. Arme, however, true to form, is gathering up the branches rather than eating them. She has an important project in mind, her den. She's very particular about its location and has her favourite spot to watch the world go by. Today's build is quite an intriguing design.
I think Arme is trying very hard to saw through one branch with a smaller little twig, sort of using it in a sawing motion. She's using it in a very deliberate kind of way. So yeah, I think she knows what she's doing. I think Arme is a creative soul. She likes to build things, she likes to make things, so she has her own little out-of-the-way space. She can do her thing. She's not the biggest fan of hanging out with other orangutans, so it kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, really. She has freedom to do what she wants, it's not in anyone's way, and no one really pesters her because the others don't really care about her pile of twigs.
At the end of the day, the team will dismantle the den to make sure it doesn't damage the fence. But tomorrow, no doubt, Arme will be back with another new creative design. The park is home to a number of primates native to Southeast Asia, but none so puzzling as the small nocturnal Bengal slow loris. It's now 10 years since Alison flew to the Maldives to rescue Boo, Monkey World's first ever slow loris.
Hi, you.
Since then, there have been 9 other arrivals, including Bobbi, who was born at the park. Dr. Marina Kenyon has been studying a similar species for many years in the wild and at Dao Tien, Monkey World's sister sanctuary in Vietnam. The centre there has had great success rescuing, rehabilitating and releasing pygmy loris back into the wild. While in the UK, Marina continues to learn more about the Bengal loris, a unique and secretive species.
With all loris species, we're learning as we go along. There's very limited wild data. And in particular with the Bengal, they live different altitudes. There's a huge size range from 2.4 kilos to 1 kilo. They're living in quite different habitats. But in Vietnam in particular, we're finding the Bengal are hanging out more in the better parts of the forest, where the thicker trees are. So that's what we've tried to do here. We've made it much more like a section of primary forest. So we just have to watch now and let them show us what they need.
Today, 2 of the park's lorises are being given one of their favourite foods, live insects. Primate care staff member Ali is adding a challenging aspect to the treat by using insect feeders.
The loris have got very strong grips, so they'll be able to hopefully hang onto these just by pressing their palms against the wood. In terms of manipulating the insects out of the holes, that could be a bit more difficult. That's why we've got 2 different sizes of hole. So these ones are slightly larger, probably for slightly larger insects like crickets. Hopefully the insects will just come out of the hole and they can grab them. If the insects do come out and they aren't aware of them, we're going to put a small container like this underneath so that they can catch them, and then they'll forage through the shavings.
The 2 lucky recipients are female lorises Boo and Bobbi. There was a 3rd member of their group, Bruce, who recently passed away after a short illness. But the 2 girls are coping and getting on well, despite not having a male in the house. Loris are a nocturnal species, sleeping during the day and travelling and eating at night. Their house at Monkey World is adapted so they think it's nighttime during the day, and vice versa. Red light is used to monitor them, as they can't see it. Loris aren't known for their speed, and today 5-year-old Bobbi isn't even sure she wants to get out of bed. Boo, however, is taking an immediate interest in the feeders. In the wild, insects and gum from tree bark are Loris's main food sources, and their great sense of smell, amazing eyesight, and the ability to hang from tiny branches makes them expert nocturnal hunters. The insect feeders are certainly keeping Boo busy and active, but she can take her time enjoying the treat with no competition from Bobbi, who's still snuggled up having a duvet day. Following a 2.5-hour journey from North Devon, Alison has arrived back at Monkey World with Saki monkey Neevah, safe and secure in her travel box. She's hoping the 6-year-old female will be a new companion for Desmond, who lost his longtime mate some months ago.
She's not made a sound the whole way, so I think she's a little bit shy and like, why is this happening?
Neevah's left her family behind, along with everything she's ever known. But hopefully her growing maturity will help her embrace this new life and, for the first time, a male partner. She's taken to the Saki monkey house, where, unaware of the potentially life-changing moment, Desmond is busy eating. The 16-year-old male has been without companionship of his own kind since Chloe, his life partner and soulmate, passed away from old age. She was older than Desmond, but now he has the prospect of a younger woman in his life. Neevah is 10 years his junior, but the team hope the pair will still take a fancy to each other.
Happy?
They won't meet face to face today. Instead, they'll be in adjacent bedrooms and able to see and hear each other in order to give Neevah time to settle in.
Right, is everyone happy? We'll go for it. Yeah? Right. Hello, gorgeous.
Primate staff member Steph opens up the travel box . But Neevah is rather reluctant to step out.
Come on, Des.
Perhaps it's the sight of Desmond, along with his housemate, common marmoset Loki.
Hey, Desmond.
Or the fact they share the house with a group of squirrel monkeys. Another sight Neevah isn't accustomed to.
This is an awful lot for a young lady to take on board, leaving your family, moving to a new home, and then coming into a house both with squirrel monkeys and a slightly loopy marmoset in the mix. Good boy.
Neevah takes her time, until, finally, plucking up courage, emerging, and heading up high for safety.
She's out! Good girl.
Who's that, Desi?
It's all a little confusing for the young Saki monkey. However, there is one familiar face. Primate care staff member Sharon spent a couple of days at Coombe Martin Wildlife Centre getting to know Neevah.
I think we don't want to push it with these guys. We'll probably keep them separate tonight. And then when we come in tomorrow, they'll have sort of settled. Neevah will be happier with her surroundings. Desmond will have got the testosterone displaying out of his system, and hopefully we'll be ready for an open up and an introduction. We've certainly seen a little bit of tongue flicking, some positive signs, so fingers crossed tomorrow we can open up and all will be well.
It's been a hectic day for young Saki Neevah, but perhaps tomorrow everything will fall into place and she'll seize the opportunity to bond with Desmond and start her new life. Next time on Monkey Life. It's medical day for 2 of the park's primates, and for one, it's a rather delicate problem.
That's a fairly gnarly looking testicle.
And Saki monkey Desmond gets to grips with his potential new partner Neevah. Today on Monkey Life, it's medical day for 2 of the park's primates, and for one, it's a rather delicate problem.
That's a fairly gnarly looking testicle.
Female chimp Sasha and alpha male Bart meet in the outdoor enclosure in the hope they can overcome their differences.
Always a scary point, this, when you move it outside. So yeah, it's a big leap, this one, but it definitely needs to happen.
And Saki monkey Desmond gets to grips with his potential new partner, Neevah. Monkey World in Dorset, very deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
The owners are going to be upset to say goodbye, but they're doing the right thing.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. The park's vet team are in for a busy day. They've 2 primates on their list with very different issues, and both could take some time. Elderly Patus monkey Penelope has suffered serious dental problems for a while. Because of her age and previous complicated dental surgery 2 years ago, the team have been reluctant to give her anaesthetic unless absolutely necessary. But now the time has come. However, first up today for vet David Holler is Capuchin Shawn, who's suffering a rather large and intimate problem.
He's been noticed over the last couple of weeks that his one testicle enlarges and then reduces. So David's come in today just to check it, make sure we're okay. If he's happy, we'll put an implant, which will hopefully then reduce that even more. If David's concerned, then he'd get brought to hospital, X-ray, and then a possible procedure of surgery to remove the testicle if it's needed.
David's keen to take a look at Shawn.
Is that the pre-med for Shawn?
Pre-med for Shawn.
Because he's unsure if Shawn will need surgery, David wants to perform an initial examination in the bedrooms at the Capuchin Lodge.
I will go down, I will call you as soon as he's had it.
Once David's had a good look at Shawn's problem, he'll decide if he's to go under the knife. Primate care staff member Donna is going to give Shawn an oral pre-med. The Capuchins have all been trained for just this scenario, so she's able to give him the medication designed to make him drowsy. When everything's ready, David heads down to the lodge where the team are waiting. He explains the options.
There are really sort of 2 main routes that we're going to go down. One is if it feels not definitely like a tumour, is implant him and just see if it shrinks everything away and everything goes down.
Okay.
The other is if it is still very enlarged and feels knobbly, and particularly if the other one is conversely softened. He's taking him up to the hospital and just taking that enlarged one away.
With the pre-med topped up with anaesthetic and Shawn out for the count, David can now examine him in one of the bedrooms.
That is huge, isn't it? Mm.
It doesn't take him long to make a decision.
So I would say that we're better off taking him up and taking that testicle off.
Okay.
The enlarged testicle needs to be removed, and that requires surgery. The team place Shawn in a travel crate and whisk him straight across to the park's hospital, where he's intubated.
Everything's set up just to get a quick x-ray of him.
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
David starts by taking a couple of x-rays to check there's nothing else untoward, and also for Shawn's records in case he needs to be seen again in the future.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's ready for surgery.
With no other obvious problems revealed, David can get to work removing Shawn's enlarged testicle. It's a straightforward operation, requiring a small incision to pop the testicle out.
That's a fairly gnarly looking testicle.
A quick snip and the job's done, followed by a few stitches to sew up the wound. The testicle will be sent to a laboratory for analysis. Shawn is then returned to the crate to recover.
We're going to send off the lab, find out exactly what's going on in there. In the meantime, put an implant in to suppress testosterone, which means that hopefully, the other testicle isn't going to kick straight into the same process. Plus, it may just help within the group because he's the second in command of the group, and so keeping his testosterone levels down and stopping him challenging for supremacy could be an advantage.
The primate care staff take Shawn back to the lodge, where he'll be closely monitored. One down, one to go. David's next patient will be along soon.
Thank you, David.
Patus monkey Penelope. Saki monkey Neevah has just woken up in her new home. Alongside, in an adjacent bedroom, is her potential new mate, Desmond. Neevah has moved to the park from a wildlife centre in Devon in the hope the two Sakis will pair up, following the loss of Chloe, Desmond's previous partner.
We're gearing up for her to meet Desmond. I think it's time now. They've kind of both they've spent the night with mesh contact, and I think she needs contact with another monkey now.
So far, Desmond has been the perfect gentleman. He's put on a decent show without being intimidating.
He's been keen. I think he's kind of made the moves. He's puffed up. He's flexed his muscles. He's shown that he's a worthwhile companion, and she did seem quite impressed with that yesterday. So I think now we'll just see what happens. It's all gauges on when you open those slides, but he's a gentleman, and she seems like quite a sweet girl. So yeah, I'm sure they'll get along. There we go.
Sharon opens up the slide connecting the two bedrooms, and Desmond cautiously makes his way in. A little unsure, Neevah tucks herself up in a corner, curious but wary. The primate care staff have put out breakfast to keep the pair occupied. And at first, Desmond's appetite takes priority over his love life.
What do you think, Des?
But after a quick snack, he makes his move, cautiously leaning across to greet Neevah. It's looking positive.
He's trying, and she's tongue flicking him as well.
Saki monkeys are generally gentle animals, and Desmond's calm approach seems to appeal to Neevah. They start flirting using their tongues.
I mean, tongue flicking, yeah, is basically a flirtatious behaviour. She's inviting him to come and mate her. It seemed to be quite instinctive, and we saw this yesterday with them as well. They were both sort of tongue flicking through the mesh at each other. So yeah, that's her just welcoming him towards her.
With things going well, Desmond decides it's time to take things to the next level.
Desmond is an experienced male. He has had offspring before in the past, so he should, in theory, know what he's doing. He is vasectomized, so we won't be having any babies here at the park. We've done that because all of the offspring that Desmond has fathered have had some health issues, so we want to make sure that he doesn't have any more offspring that have any health conditions. So we won't be having any babies, but obviously they'll still go through the courtship, the mating behaviours. At the minute, we think Desmond's kind of forgotten how to do all those things because he seems to be doing a little bit wrong. But again, they're just getting used to each other, doing some practicing, and hopefully they'll be very happy together.
This is all new to Neevah, who's spent her entire life living with her parents and siblings. But if Desmond can get his act together, these two Sakis could be a perfect match. It's been nearly a year since Argentine chimp Sasha and her son Kangu arrived from Buenos Aires Zoo. 16-year-old Kangu has fully integrated into Brian's group and getting on well with his new family. But next door in Bart's troop, for his mum Sasha, it's still a work in progress. She's made friends with some of the lower-ranking individuals, but with leader Bart, it's a case of one step forward, two steps back. As a result, the group has been split for some time, frustrating alpha male Bart. In an attempt to move the situation on, the primate care staff have decided to try something different today. But it's not without risk.
We're letting them outside together with a small subgroup of people who are pretty solid with both of them. That can be a source of comfort for both Bart and Sasha. And yeah, hopefully all goes well, because it's always a scary point this when you move it outside. When we do introductions inside the house, we have a lot more control of the situation, but outside in the enclosure, you're very limited. If it starts going wrong, you've kind of got to hope that they run back towards the house so that you can put a slide in between them. So yeah, it's a big leap, this one, but it definitely needs to happen.
Sasha and Bart are let outside with a carefully selected group of friends, including Cindy, Beth, and Buster, along with Bart's older sister Eddie, who also gets on well with Sasha. The team hope the elder sibling can play the role of go-between and help the fractious pair get along. The final two chimps making up the numbers today are Lola, currently Sasha's best friend, and low-ranking Pepper, who's fairly easygoing and capable of sticking up for the newcomer if she feels inclined. With a scatter feed capturing everyone's attention, they're all calm, including Bart.
He's not massively keen on letting her interact with him, so she keeps approaching him and panting, making all the right gestures, and I think she would like some more positive interaction. But because he's a giant wimp, he just keeps running away from her. But then when she walks away from him, he follows her everywhere. So the interest is there, just he's just too much of a wimp to actually take that plunge. But hopefully the more he's exposed to her like this outside where he's nice and relaxed, it'll just happen over time.
A recent house swap means Sasha hasn't spent much time in this outside space, and she didn't have a large outdoor enclosure at her home in Argentina, so she's adapted remarkably well. She's now confident on the large structures and hosing, which the chimps use to move around. Her problem is the social side of life and how to act in chimp society. In Argentina, she did spend some time living with other chimps, but only in very small numbers. For the last few years, she's only had Kangu for company.
She's not lived in a huge group with a massive social dynamic. It's been a slow learning curve that she can't just do whatever she wants, and she has to behave more appropriately around them. Although Lola, being a little low-ranking female, was just quite keen to have a friend herself, I think. And I think Lola's been a bit more permissive of Sasha's eccentricities, shall we say. And that's why I think they've ended up forming quite a strong bond, because they're both just very tolerant to one another.
Bart, on the other hand, was born at the park 16 years ago and has never known anything other than life with the group.
Part of the reason why Bart is such a baby is because they all treat him like a baby still, basically. They've all kind of been there and looked after him even after he's lost both of his parents, and yeah, he kind of gets comfort from pretty much the whole group. He's part of the reason why he just hasn't built up that resilience, because everyone's took care of everything for him his entire life.
It may be just a small step towards Bart accepting Sasha, But so far today, things are looking more positive. The team will persevere in the coming days, adding in more chimps with the aim of getting all the troop back together, with Sasha a fully integrated member. While Capuchin Shawn recovers in one of the bedrooms at the lodge following surgery to remove an enlarged testicle,
Thank you.
primate care staff member Steph is already preparing for the next patient, elderly patas monkey Penelope.
We're aware she's got some health issues. She's had bad teeth before. She's pretty much fully blind in one eye from cataracts. And she also gets the shakes down one side of her body. So she's just an old wobbly girl, which makes her a bit more of a risk for a vet day and to undergo an anaesthetic. So we're just keeping everything crossed that this goes smoothly.
A few years back, Penelope underwent an in-depth medical investigation involving an endoscopy. She also had quite a few of her teeth removed. Wildlife vet Nick Masters, who performed the procedures, was concerned about a number of other teeth, but felt the elderly patas had been under anaesthetic long enough. Today, vet David Holler is taking over where Nick left off.
The incidence of problems under anaesthesia increase massively if you go over an hour of anaesthetic, so it's safer to do 2 shorter procedures than it is to do 1 really long one. So.
The primate care staff have given Penelope a pre-med to make her drowsy, and she's had an anaesthetic to knock her out before being brought to the hospital.
So we've got our hole under the jaw that we were worried about in the first place.
Penelope has had an abscess on a tooth recently, which the team treated with antibiotics. She's also on medication for arthritis. David takes X-rays to assess the condition. The resulting images aren't encouraging.
Yeah, the outline of the heart is very indistinct. We've had some fluid coming back up the ET tube already. Arthritis running through just about everything. So that's in her sternum there.
The X-rays confirm what the team already know. Penelope is very elderly and has serious health issues. David poses the question they really don't want to hear.
It's whether we say quality of life and welfare wise, is this enough? Is this time for her?
Where are you with all this?
I'm sort of at, well, let's carry on with the dental and see where we get to. And if she doesn't make it through the anaesthetic, we've lost nothing by trying.
Everybody happy with that?
Yeah, just can you draw up the locals and things just while we're...
The team agree. It's a difficult decision, but they want to give Penelope every chance. Before David begins the dental surgery, he takes an X-ray of her jaw to see just how much work is needed.
So that and that need to come out, as does that one, and that one. And that one.
Ouch.
And that one and that one. Apart from that, we're perfect.
Most, if not all, of her teeth need to come out. It sounds drastic, but David is confident if Penelope comes through, her gums will harden and she'll find eating a lot easier. Plus, she'll be pain-free.
You see this is moving already?
The teeth come out, one by one, with very little effort.
So that tooth is loose and wobbling.
All in all, David extracts 17 teeth.
That's the rest of that one.
He's confident within a few days she'll be able to eat normal food.
Well, it'll need to be softer for a few days until she gets used to it, but the gums will harden off and she'll be able to cope with surprisingly hard foods once everything's healed up in there. And in fact, you know, once everything's healed up, she'll be happier and more comfortable than she's been in a long time. And she'll be better able to eat a wider range of foods. It sounds like a bit of a paradox, but yeah, if the teeth are bad, she won't be using them, so she can at least use some hard gums instead.
To everyone's relief, Penelope comes through the surgery. She'll now need to recover while the primate care team monitor her closely, administer antibiotics, and feed her appropriate foods. If all goes well, she'll be able to return to life with her partner, Mr. P. At the Capuchin complex, one lucky group are about to be given a tricky but tasty breakfast. The primate care staff have stewed apples and other fruits, along with feed pellets, and pushed the mixture in between the fronds of lots of pine cones.
Putting them out for Winslow's group as a bit of something different. We're going to hang them up all over the enclosure, so hopefully there'll be a little bit of a challenge for them to get hold of.
There are 16 members in the troop, and it's generally the most settled and stable of all the Capuchin groups at the park. Some members are expert climbers, while others stick to ground level. Katie is going to give all of them a chance to purloin a pine cone.
It just makes it a little bit different for them. It makes it a little bit more challenging, and yeah, they haven't had pine cones for quite a while, so it's just a little bit of a different way to present the food to them, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a few other behaviours out, and we'll get to see them high up in the trees, and because they're going to be dangling, hopefully we'll get some tail use in there, but then we're also going to pop some down on the ground because we definitely have some in this group who aren't keen on heights.
The slide is opened up, and the Capuchins head straight out, eager to explore, and to discover what treat Katie and the team have cooked up. Some of the females, including Bubbles and Joanne, go straight to the pine cones closer to the ground, while Onslow heads up a level. He's smart, anchoring himself with his tail, giving him the stability to use both hands to attack the pine cone. Leader Winslow tries a different technique, smashing his pine cone on a tunnel roof to break it apart, showing similar tool use behaviour to wild Capuchins. Apart from Dodger and Babe, all the Capuchins in this group came from a laboratory in Chile, although some of the older individuals, such as Debbie, were wild caught. She was a dominant female for a long time, until Babe took over when she arrived from Spain in 2009. But now, she's also taken a back seat.
She almost just doesn't seem interested in hierarchy so much anymore. She loves being outside, she loves climbing, she's always busy, always doing something. And whereas I think she used to direct that a little bit more at the hierarchy and what the other monkeys were doing, now she's kind of not as interested and she's off doing her own thing. So yeah, she just seems to have been happily retired a little bit. And Esther's definitely more of a dominant female and more involved in the hierarchy now. But overall, they're actually really stable. The whole group seems to have calmed down a little bit compared to what they used to be like.
Current dominant female Esther has found a sunny spot in a tree where she's well balanced to tackle a pine cone. Dodger, one of the two non-lab monkeys in the group, arrived 3 years ago. He'd been kept as a pet, and after a false start in another group, has finally settled to life in Winslow's troop. He's a bit of a ground monkey, but today he's being more adventurous. With plenty of pine cones to go round, all of the Capuchin group have tackled the tricky feast, and it should keep them both physically and mentally challenged for the rest of the day. Next time on Monkey Life, Alison heads to the Midlands to pick up a marmoset found wandering the streets of Wolverhampton.
It was seen running loose in a back garden and then sprinted inside somebody's house when they were putting their washing out.
And recently arrived Saki monkey Neevah gives new mate Desmond the runaround. Today on Monkey Life, Alison heads to the Midlands to pick up a marmoset found wandering the streets of Wolverhampton.
It was seen running loose in a back garden and then sprinted inside somebody's house when they were putting their washing out.
After 14 years at the park and a much healthier lifestyle, previously hefty orangutan Oshine is persuaded onto the scales by Jeremy.
Let go, let go. Go, girl. Okay.
And recently arrived Saki monkey Neevah gives new mate Desmond the runaround. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's going to work.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. Alison has made a 4-hour journey to Wolverhampton to answer an SOS call from a local animal rescue organisation. Wings and Paws have taken in a Jeffroy's marmoset, who's being cared for by one of their volunteers.
Always the interesting bit, never know what you're going to find.
The marmoset, now named Marcel, is believed to be a male, but where he came from is something of a mystery.
Basically, it was seen a couple of weeks ago running loose in a back garden and then sprinted inside somebody's house when they were putting their washing out. So a local animal rescue organization has taken it on and has been looking after, they've named him Marcel, been looking after Marcel in the meantime, waiting to see if anybody comes forward to claim their marmoset, and nobody has. It's hard to believe that a couple of weeks ago he survived several days out in the cold, but it's possible, I guess. So we're going to have to piece this together. It's a little bit of a mystery, and mainly try and get Marcel sorted out with an appropriate life.
It's not the first time Alison's rescued a marmoset found roaming the streets. Back in 2018, female Freya was found on scaffolding in the Tower Hamlets area of London.
It's really dangerous. You know, it's cold overnight. They can't survive the temperatures overnight. There's a world of danger out there for them. So it's just awful. And it's an indicator that, you know, the trade is growing and expanding. When you start finding marmosets running loose on the streets of Britain, there's a problem with the pet trade.
For the last 2 weeks, while the rescue organisation tried to find his owner, Marcel has been looked after by a volunteer local family. With no luck tracing his origins, Marcel has had a temporary home in a small cage in one of the children's bedrooms.
Hello, mister. It's okay. So he's lost part of his tail.
With his concerned carers watching on, Alison tries to gain Marcel's trust.
Right, let's see if we can make friends a bit. I brought some waxworms, also some crickets.
Ooh, it's okay.
Ooh. So what have you guys been feeding him?
When he first came, he was absolutely starving, so he was eating anything. So I shot to the shop, got him some cashew nuts, strawberry the first day, and then I Googled and it said you shouldn't give him too many fruits. So he's had a bit of boiled egg. He really likes the mealworm.
Here, try that. Try that one. It's tasty.
I feed him, but he spends, obviously it's Jacob's bedroom, so he's used to Jacob. And he sleeps in, that's his little bed that he absolutely loves.
Okay, so it'll be interesting to get a weight on him. Don't like the look of those. Oh, there is some solid feces. I was going to say, normally they're a bit more firm.
Yeah.
Alison isn't too concerned about Marcel's condition.
Pretty active, pretty alert. Missing a third of his tail. It's a boy. I see some solid feces, but then what looks like a bit of a splodge as well, so we'll check that out. Yeah, pretty good. His mobility's good.
Now the tricky bit, persuading Marcel into a travel box.
Let's see if I can just marry the box up to the door, and I'm gonna put some grapes and things inside of it. And then if it's okay, I'm gonna ask if I can steal his hammock. Scent marking is so important to them.
Alison adds a few tasty treats, while Jacob takes the chance to say goodbye. With the travel crate married up to the cage, it's time to tempt Marcel to take a leap of faith.
Good boy, Kim. Good boy.
Is he in?
He's in, I think. Yeah, he's in. Yep. Yeah, you good. Ta-da.
Amazing. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Marcel.
In a matter of seconds, he's in and secure.
He's pretty friendly.
He's calm, and it also is a testament to how you guys have looked after him. Thank you so much, because he's calm and confident, so that makes a big difference.
With Marcel content in the box, Alison takes the opportunity to collect a few samples.
This is just some of his poop that we'll look at in the hospital under a microscope, just to make sure that he doesn't have any parasites or bacteria that we need to deal with, so.
Alison is happy to assist Wings and Paws and take on Marcel. They've done their best for him over the last few weeks, but recognised he needed expert care.
Lovely. Thank you. No. Best of luck with everything you guys do.
Thank you so much.
It's been an unusual few weeks for the young male marmoset, but he's now on his way to a new life in Dorset. The nursery orangutans are all outside enjoying the warm sunshine, having fun, or in Oshine's case, relaxing. There are 6 members of the group. The 2 youngest are 6-year-old Hujan and Kayan, born just 2 weeks apart. Mimi and Rika, 2 young females, are a few years older and heading to adolescence. But 9-year-old Bulu Mata is already maturing. In the last year, his appearance has changed dramatically. He's bulked up, his fur has grown much longer, and he now has the classic Sumatran orangutan beard.
Bulu has always been and still is a very sweet animal. But now he's grown up and really his personality is starting to change. He is less reserved now. He will push his weight around a little bit. He is still really playful though, and we see him interacting a lot with the younger animals in the group, so that's really good to see. But all of those changes now that he's starting to come into adolescence are what we would expect from a dominant male.
Bulu Mata's size and personality change have led to one member of the group becoming a little wary of the adolescent male. 27-year-old Oshine.
The behaviours that Bulu is displaying are really subtle. So he's not chasing Oshine, he's not pulling her hair or being nasty. He'll just sit next to her when she doesn't want him to sit next to her, or hold her hand when she doesn't want her hand held. So they're not horrible, he's just proving a point.
Bulu is now bigger than Oshine in both size and weight. It's a real turnaround. When the female arrived from South Africa in 2010, she was obese, weighing in at 100 kilograms. Oshine's upbringing was unique. Her owner, Brenda, bought her from an Indonesian zoo when she was just a baby. Growing up, the female orangutan had the run of the house and was food obsessed.
That's the dog's food. That's the puppy's food, sis, man. Come. Of course it's Puffy. Let's go. What do you want? Yeah. Okay, here's your custard.
And she had the run of Brenda's ranch too. It was an enormous and emotional decision for Brenda to part with Oshine and allow her to come to Monkey World. But she was becoming too much for Brenda to handle, and she also realised the humanised female needed interaction with her own kind.
On here. No, on here.
A few weeks after she arrived, Jeremy persuaded Oshine onto the scales.
Give me a hand.
Take those back. Good girl. Good girl. And now we got to work. Good girl.
Fast forward 14 years and Oshine is less than half that weight. But with the others growing up and getting more competitive, the primate care staff want to check Oshine's weight, so they're going to try and get her on the scales again.
Oshine is massively food motivated. She loves her food, so getting her to eat is not a problem. It's partly getting her to eat the right foods, and we want her to be active to build up that muscle as well, so she doesn't just pile on and get a tubby belly. But obviously we can't just give her the nice foods like the fruits and the roots. She needs to eat the leafy, like the lettuces and the other vegetables as well. But if we make that too challenging to encourage her to move and the food isn't as motivating, then she's not going to do it. So it is a really tricky balance.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Animal director Jeremy has arrived to help with the weigh-in. He first met Oshine in South Africa and encouraged her to sit on the scales because her obesity was a serious medical condition.
OK, everyone ready?
Yep. Come on, Sheenie. Sit in there. What does it say? Okay. Let go, let go. Good girl. OK. Right.
40.3.
Right, now through here. Come on.
Good girl, Oshine.
40.3.
Yeah.
With a high-value treat as a reward, Oshine weighs in at 40.3 kilograms, a good weight for an adult female orangutan.
We're now at the point, really, where we don't want her to lose any more. It's just important that she has all of that muscle. She won't have as much as some of the other individuals just because the way that she's grown up. But she needs to be healthy. So she has the healthy diet. So we just need to make sure now that she's eating enough and moving around enough that we've got her at a stable weight. And now we know where we are with her, we can tweak her supplementary food in line with that to make sure that we are starting to put on that weight a bit more.
The group is still young and playful, but they're all growing up, and changes in the future are inevitable. The sun is out on a lovely autumn day, and the park's 3 spider monkeys are sunbathing in one of their favourite spots, an outside tunnel. The trio are about to be given an unusual fruit they haven't sampled before.
Does that look delicious?
Medlars.
Yeah? They've come over and everybody's had a good look, so yeah, I think they'll be quite excited to see what these are. They've never seen them before.
Katie is skewering the fruit on the trees and shrubs in the enclosure to encourage natural feeding behaviour and persuade the trio to use their bodies as they would in the wild. It's known as suspensory feeding.
They're going to have to forage around, they're going to have to climb a little bit and try and get hold of them.
The medlar fruits look like a cross between an apple and rosehip. But what will the 3 spider monkeys make of them?
OK, so...
Female pumpkin is first in. She carefully examines one of the fruits on a branch. She's picky. Some are more ripe than others, and she tries another. That's not right either. Hanging from her long prehensile tail, she reaches down for another fruit. In the wild, spider monkeys are known to eat more than 250 species of fruit, which makes up more than half of their varied diet. Flint is also on the lookout for a juicy, ripe medlar. He's one of 2 males in the group. The other is Hickory, who's quite a bit older.
They've been trying the foods. Some of them have stopped and ate them, so they're definitely intrigued, but I'm not sure it's their favourite food to date.
In the wild, spider monkey groups are led by males. But female pumpkin is in charge of this trio, and she's very food-focused. Hickory normally hangs back and lets his housemates get stuck in first. But today, he joins in straight away.
He quite often Devon likes novel things. When we give them new bits of enrichment, one of his first reactions is often to come over and laugh about it. He sometimes holds back a little bit when it comes to food. He'll let the other two investigate, and then he'll go over after once they've lost interest a little bit. So, yeah, he definitely seems to like the fact that it's something new going on.
All three spider monkeys now seem taken with the meddlers, which have a flavour similar to apple puree mixed with citrus.
Pumpkin's making lots of happy noises. She's obviously enjoying the fact that there's new stuff going on. Yeah, so it's just kind of the noise she makes when she's happy. It's a very strange kind of noise, yeah. There's nothing else I can think of that sounds quite like a spider monkey happy noise.
Pumpkin, Flint and Hickory eventually have their fill and head back to their favourite spot to enjoy the sunshine. It's almost 2 months since Saki monkey Neevah arrived from Combe Martin Wildlife Park in Devon as a companion for Desmond. It was a big move for the 6-year-old adult female, but she's settled in well, and her relationship with the park's male Saki is going from strength to strength.
She was quite nervous when she arrived, lots of weird sounds and noises for her to get used to. Even though she's zoo-bred animal, she was also a little bit nervous about the public. I think the window was just a bit closer than what she was used to. But now she's doing really, really well. She's settled in lovely. She's formed a really nice tight bond with Desmond now. We're starting to see lots of really lovely grooming sessions. We've got quite a lot of sun at the moment, so big sunbathing and grooming sessions happening. And she really doesn't care about her weird adoptive son, which is Loki the Marmoset, who also lives in that enclosure.
Neevah is very different from Desmond's former partner, Chloe, who was 30 years old when she passed away. This young female is confident and incredibly agile, particularly when navigating the ramps and branches in the outdoor enclosure. It's been a bit of an eye-opener for Desmond.
She's really curious, she's reaching around for leaves, she's looking at all of the blossoms and the buds and things that are coming through, and she's just really using the space. And I think Desmond is finding that a bit weird, that he's got a female that's sort of running here, there and everywhere, and he's got to keep up because he was used to a much more sedate lifestyle when Chloe was around.
The third member of the household, Marmoset Loki, who doesn't get on well with other marmosets, is also benefiting from the arrival of the young newcomer. He's happier living with the Sakis than with others of his own kind. But the team were a bit concerned how he might take to the new lively female.
So Loki actually seems quite happy that there's a new female Saki. We've seen them coexist. They'll sort of eat in the same areas. They don't bother each other. But we didn't think there was much relationship there going on. But actually, when Chloe passed away, Loki was a bit out of sorts. He was a bit quiet. He was a bit weirded out by everything. He actually seems really, really relaxed. And I don't know whether it's having this sort of younger, energetic animal in the enclosure. He is bouncing around through foliage. He's playing. He's sort of here, there, and everywhere. And he seems to have a little bit of a new lease of life as well.
It's a positive result all round. Loki has his bounce back, and Desmond has a new love interest.
So we're just delighted that this has gone so well. Now we've managed to get him this young female, even if she's keeping on his toes a little bit. It's just absolutely wonderful. So couldn't be happier that we've got a loved up match.
Following a 4-hour journey from the Midlands, Alison has arrived back at the park with Marcel, a male Jeffroy's marmoset found wandering the streets of Wolverhampton.
So, I think he's an escape artist.
Oh no.
He's missing the end of his tail, but he sort of tested every bit of the box the whole way. Yeah.
Alison takes Marcel into the marmoset complex to release him into a temporary bedroom, where he can be assessed over the coming days.
There's some Jeffroys.
While they prepare, staff member Lee examines the fecal sample Alison collected earlier on to test for parasites. The results will help the team to assess Marcel's health and ensure no infections are passed on to any other primate. It doesn't take long for Lee to get the results.
Yeah, pretty boring, really. Didn't find anything. You know, it's always very interesting when you find things. But good news so far that his sample, from what I've seen, is clear of any parasites. So I'll let the team know, but I will ask for a second sample tomorrow so that I can double check.
Oh, Freya's looking at him like he looks nice.
Marcel is also getting a first look at his new housemates. Opposite him are Fred and Freya, also Geoffroy's marmosets, and a long-established pair at the park. Initially, Marcel will be able to see and hear his new neighbours, but without any physical contact. But first, Elle needs to persuade him out of his travel box.
Anytime you're ready.
Yeah.
Well, that was easy. Confident Marcel is straight out and onto the mesh for a look around.
Good boy.
He immediately demonstrates his mobility.
Moving around okay?
Yeah.
Elle opens up another slide, giving Marcel access to 2 bedrooms. While he explores his new surroundings, the team check his weight. By weighing the empty crate and subtracting the amount from one they took earlier with him in it, they get an accurate reading.
400 grams. So he's a fine weight. It's a good weight.
Despite the fact he's missing part of his tail, Alison is pleased with Marcel's overall condition.
He's a little bit sort of hunched up, but I think it's more him being puffed up, sort of showing off, and finding his feet. He's also been inside the box for 4 hours, so we'll have to see how he goes. But his mobility's good, his coat is good, he's missing 1/3 of his tail. He's a little bit scratchy. You know, we've had a few marmosets arrive from unknown circumstances, and I think he's going to be another one of those mysteries. But no, nice little lad, Marcel.
Because Marcel was an emergency rescue case, Alison doesn't have a companion lined up for him yet. Discussions will take place in the next few days about possible matches. Until then, the staff will concentrate on building up trust with the mystery stray marmoset and starting him on an appropriate diet. Hopefully, it won't be long before he's introduced to a potential partner and can begin a contented life with one of his own kind. Next time on Monkey Life. Operation Siamang. The team formulate a plan to move Sam and Sasak back across the park to their newly renovated home.
We've got a bigger crate, which we're hoping will be a lot less stressful for them.
And baby woolly monkey Lloyd tests out his climbing skills while Mum Zingu watches on.